It's time to go on the record, and what a week it has been.
We've been frustrated, disappointed with the performance of the T.
This ain't this woman's first rodeo, but I'm telling you that this is not a spring chicken system.
The relentless cold and snow brings out the heat on Beacon Hill. The MBTA now just one more problem on Governor Baker's plate.
Because of the amount of snow we're getting, in just 3 storms, 60 inches of snow, never before this type of magnitude of storm in such a short period of time.
Boston's Mayor Marty Walsh is still awash in the challenges of snow. He's here this morning. How does he respond to his critics? We will ask him. And as ISIS rages, some Massachusetts congressmen are saying no to the president's request for a U.S. troop commitment.
From WCPB Boston, the inside word from Washington to Beacon Hill. Today's newsmakers are going on the record.
Hi, everyone. I'm Ed Harding, along with News Center 5's political reporter, Jenny Wu. Thank you for joining us on the record this morning. It's another snowy week where the white stuff has become a hot political issue on Beacon Hill and in the city of Boston. There is much to discuss. We have the mayor with us this morning, so let's get right to it with Boston's Mayor Marty Walsh. First of all, thank you for joining us. I understand, all things aside, you've got a lot of things to do, so we appreciate you joining us in OTR.
Oh, thank you. It's nice to be inside.
For a change.
That's not going to be long, though. Don't get used to it.
So lots of drama this past week at the MBTA. There were shutdowns. The general manager resigns. Your city needs the MBTA to survive. What's your reaction to all of this?
You know, it's unfortunate what's happening with the T. You know, I know people have been critical of the T over the years. It's been pretty reliable over the last, say, 10 years in the city of Boston. There's been breakdowns and things like that, but we need it. It's really important for us. This past week, when we decided to go back to school on Wednesday and Thursday, you know, we had slowdowns and you know, difficult to get young people to school back and forth. People need to get to work. We're trying to keep people off the roads, so we need a reliable service for the MBTA.
Shocked when Beverly Scott resigned so suddenly after getting basically a vote of confidence from the board.
Yeah, I was. I didn't know they took the vote till afterwards, but I was a little surprised that she stepped down so quickly. It seemed like the day before that you know, she was in this thing for the long haul to push back a little bit, but I was surprised.
Do you think she had done a good job up until now?
I think she did a good job. I think that there's a lot of problems at the T, and I think you know, even watching the way the T's handled snow this year compared to last year, completely different. So there's clearly a systems change at the T, and unfortunately, I mean, people need to be held accountable. I mean, I'm going to be held accountable in the city of Boston for whether we take the snow off the street or not, and how things operate, and people need to be held accountable.
I know there's a new governor, but have you told him point blank that, you know, you need more money, and more money is needed to fix this system?
Yeah, we had a conversation about that. I think, you know, I think that you can't reform necessarily the T's problems. The T's problems go back a long way with money. I mean, I was in the legislature in 1997 when a lot of the debt from the Big Dig was put on the MBTA. So that automatically had a cash-strapped system. They never really...
That builds in a problem.
Yeah, and they never really uncovered from that, and they had an old system. So a lot of the money was shifted over to Mass Turnpike and the MBTA. The difference is the Mass Turnpike had the ability to be able to pay the debt down and keep the service running. MBTA didn't have the same opportunity. So service has been hurting over the years. We, in the legislature, when I was there, voted to increase the gas tax with indexing. That money was going to the T and roads and bridges. The voters of Massachusetts...
Was it enough?
I think it was enough because of the indexing, but now that the indexing is gone, it's not going to be enough. I don't know what they're going to do.
Yeah, but you know how people are. All of those reasons are logical and make sense. But if Billy can't get to work because he can't get on the T, that's a frustrating moment. And Billy times 650,000 or whatever.
The service in the MBTA needs upgrades. You need infrastructure upgrades. It's not just trains, it's upgrades. Part of the problem with the T this week has been the third rail's been down because of snow. You have an infrastructure problem, and I'm not blaming anybody. I mean, I guess.
But where do you get the money to fix those infrastructure problems?
It's going to have to be. Money will be taken away from other opportunities, other programs to fix the T. Because at the end of the day, you need the T to keep the economy moving, not just in Boston, throughout the Commonwealth.
Beverly Scott mentioned something on the day when she had the press conference, which was the day before she resigned, that the problems with the money problems with the T date back to the Big Dig. And the problems, do you agree with her? Is she right about that?
Well, she is, because the debt of the Big Dig was shifted over from the Mass Highway Department over to the MBTA. It was shifted over to the Mass Port Authority. It was shifted over to the Turnpike Authority. Those two other agencies, Turnpike and Massport, were able to pay the debt down. The MBTA, which was an old structure when it was shifted over there, had this burdensome debt on top of it. So I think, you know, one thing I think the federal government at some point is going to have to step up here and make an investment here, because we're talking about the Northeast corridor of America to move the economy forward.
Not that the... go ahead. You want to...
Yeah, I just want to say, but, you know, Governor Baker is considered to be the architect of the Big Dig. So is he in a situation right now, a pickle that, in a sense, that he created himself?
I don't know if I call him the creator of the Big Dig. I know that he worked under administrations. I mean, the architect. I think it started long before the Big Dig started. I think under the Dukakis administration, got carried forward through the Weld administration, of which Governor Baker was part of. I think at that point the problems with the financial fiscal piece wasn't there yet. I think the fiscal problems came a little bit after.
When I say architect, I mean the architect of the financing, not the.
Well, I mean, and the financing. I'm not going to defend the financing. I mean, it's clearly it ballooned. I mean, at the end of the day, when I look at the Central Artery project, I look at the finished product. It was a great project for the city of Boston to take the Central Artery, put it underground, create the Rose Kennedy Greenway, create a lot of opportunities. On the other side, there was a lot of mismanagement, a lot of problems. We've seen court cases. We've seen companies who've gotten paid, got sued, paid money back. That was handled completely wrong. I think the problem was, a lot of it was, it went through 3 or 4 different gubernatorial administrations, and I don't know if there's any consistency there.
Is the world looking at this, what's happening with the snow, and I'm using the Olympic eyes that I'm looking at right now. I know, does this affect, seeing how the T is affected here, is this going to present a problem for the Olympic bid? Not that that's urgent number one.
I actually think it presents a solution for the Olympic bid. I think it's an opportunity that if we are going to get the Olympics, if Boston does get the Olympics in other parts of the Commonwealth, we need a real 21st century transit authority, that the investment will have to be made in that transit authority. And I think that that's where we turn to the federal government for some assistance. I mean, we need help from the federal government. As I said, the budget this year, I'm not sure what the figure is going to be at the State House, 30-something billion a year. MBTA needs $1 billion infrastructure probably immediately to be able to just begin the process of.
But without a fix or without help from the federal government, the MBTA is not ready for the Olympics at this point. Fair to say?
We're not ready. Well, I shouldn't say that. It depends. It really depends upon what type of. There's been new cars ordered. It's not about the cars, though. It's about the service. The MBTA moves millions of people around on a daily basis. By adding people from the Olympics, it'll work. But I still think it's an opportunity for us.
Maybe you should have refocused your bid on the Winter Olympics with all the snow that we've had around here, rather than the Summer Olympics.
We were talking about that the other day. I was talking to somebody who could have cross-country skiing in the neighborhoods.
You had to bring in the National Guard this past week to help with moving new equipment, people, to move all the snow out of here. It was under absolutely an unprecedented amount of snow. But what does it say about your Department of Public Works and your ability to move? I mean, because these snowstorms were unprecedented, but it could happen again, and again.
Well, I'll tell you why we asked for the help is because what's happening today and future storms that are happening, to get the snow off the corners, to make room for new snow, and that's what we're experiencing right now, and that's what we're probably going to experience allegedly later in the week.
But your department doesn't seem to be up to the task. Is that fair to say?
No, they're absolutely up to the task. We've had 3 major storms heading a 4th and then potentially a 5th down the road later this week, Wednesday, Thursday. I think there's another storm supposedly coming. Right. We've never seen this type of snow. We've never seen this type of snow in this short period of time. Right. We have over 6.5 feet of snow in the city of Boston. We had let's not talk about today. We had the blizzard. Then after that, we had 18 inches of snow 5 days later, and then about a week later, we had another anywhere from 18 to 2 feet of snow on the ground. Just when we're digging out of a storm, we get whacked with another storm.
We are ready for the OTR pop quiz. You ready?
Yeah, I think so.
Look at that. You're just
we'll see.
Checking up your sleeves. Okay, it's Valentine's weekend, so in the spirit of Valentine's Day, today's OTR Pop Quiz is political duos. Question 1, Charlie Baker's Lieutenant Governor, Shrewsbury's Karen Polito. Who was Charlie Baker's Lieutenant Governor pick when he first ran for governor back in 2010?
Richard Tassay.
Most recently, unsuccessful candidate for Congress in the 6th. Question 2, Governor Dukakis had 3 lieutenant governors during his time on Beacon Hill: John Kerry, Evelyn Murphy, Tom O'Neill. But who was the Democrats' vice presidential running mate in 1988?
Oh, God. 88. John Kerry.
Lloyd Bentsen of Texas.
Oh, my God, what am I thinking? Okay.
Who said famously in the debate to Dan Quayle, I served with Jack Kennedy.
The way I thought you meant who was it? If you said Dukakis, I would have said Lloyd Bentsen, yes.
We continue
he passed
on the
away
record.
a couple of years ago.
Yeah, absolutely. We continue on the record with Mayor Walsh. Stay with us.